Welcome to the Outdoor Sports Club. I'm Gilly Sniper 300, and we're now going to talk about and test this Hornady Leverevolution ammunition. As I stated in our video about the Z-Max ammunition, I'm a big fan of Hornady, and I really like what they've done with this Leverevolution bullet. When they first came out with this stuff, since they've come out with it, I've wanted to shoot it. There's not a lot you can do with the 30-30, but you know, it's obviously a very popular deer rifle. It's a good deer rifle. It's a rugged and reliable deer rifle. It does the trick. Doesn't have extreme range. Doesn't carry a lot of energy out to range. Back when I looked at ballistics on these, if you could hold your aim point pretty well, you could take a whitetail deer out to about 200, maybe a little further. I can't shoot a 30-30 that far. They have fairly heavy triggers and the sights are fairly crude. If I can get this lined up, I will show you. They're not insanely crude, but I don't know if we can see that or not, but you know, it's a ball and a blade and a small back sight. Sometimes you'll get hooded sights on hooded front sights, and I don't know if that helps or hurts, but the sights are a little bit tough to aim that far, because basically a whitetail deer, you're covering up more than the kill zone at that range. You're covering up a decent sized circle. With this on this one, you're covering up a decent sized circle on your target with that ball on the blade there, and it makes it a little bit harder to hold that point of aim exactly where you want it. It's got a fairly heavy trigger, especially for a hammered gun. You would think that it would be a little bit lighter than it is, and you know, I say heavy, it's not really that heavy. It's just that it's not, I don't know, to me it's not very clean, and no 30-30 I've ever shot is insanely clean. They're not bad. I think I'm making it sound like it's worse than it is, but anyway, the cartridge itself is an old cartridge, and this is one of the oldest cartridges still in use today, if not the oldest. The 30-30 comes from back in the late 1800s when they first started loading cartridges, and it means 30 caliber bullet with 30 grains of black powder. It's similar to the nomenclature for the 4570, 45-110, 4440, all of those old cowboy guns. It's the same kind of a thing. The only thing is it's loaded with smokeless powder now, instead of black powder. But it's an old cartridge, very old cartridge. A lot of deer have been shot with these things, and there's not a lot, like I said, there's not a lot you can do with it to make it more accurate or kill better. And one of the problems with the design for modern ammunition is this tubular magazine. It gets under quite a bit of tension in there, and if you were to put a pointed bullet up against the back of another pointed bullet, or any bullet up against a pointed bullet with a lot of that tension, you could set that off. At least that's what I've always been told is the problem, and it makes sense. And you don't see things like ballistic tips in 30-30s. So what they did here is they put this polymer tip in, and I guess it's and I don't know exactly what it's made of, but I guess it's soft enough. It doesn't feel very soft, but it's soft enough and blunt enough that it won't set off other cartridges, but it increases the ballistic performance of the round, and it increases the terminal ballistic performance of the round. So we're going to basically do our old test of shooting through some jugs. I was looking for some leather to put up on the front of the jugs, but I guess I threw away my old boots. So we're just gonna shoot bare jugs, and we're gonna compare this, which is an old Winchester Super X that I had laying around. I think this is the newest 30-30 bullet I have in my house other than these. We're gonna shoot one of these and chronograph it, and see how it does in a jug test, shooting water jugs, and then we're going to shoot these and do the same thing. First up, regular soft point Winchester Super X. .2287. An obvious devastation. I guess I should have tried to get more gloves, more jugs up there. First jug, devastated. We actually tore up our little hive thing here, which I didn't mean to do. A lot of devastation here. Okay, that one went low, it looks like. And, ooh, I don't think it went through the third one, or the fourth one, I mean. I think the bullet's around here somewhere. Nope, it's in there. It's in there. Okay, 2287 was our number before. Now let's shoot these Hornady. Wow, that's impressive. 2405, 2405, and we had a jug fly way over here. The top of the first one did. So, as impressive as those soft points are, these babies, oh, there's some pieces. We've got some jacket and some core. Some lead core in there, which is what I would expect with any kind of a polymer tipped bullet. We've got a pretty clean hole through this, what I believe is the second jug. I need to start numbering these jugs, and I was hoping we would have a bullet in here, but we don't, or part of a bullet I should say. It punched in and punched out. So the bullet, this jug stayed stationary, and the bullet, or the remaining pieces, flew out here. So that's way bigger than any deer, way deeper than any deer, but there's no bone, there's no skin, none of that kind of stuff. Just before that leaks out anymore, we're gonna put one more through the crony and hit that jug. And these chamber well. $24.65, and we had a jug fly way up in the air, or part of that jug, and land down over here. We've got pieces of jug everywhere. Now we've got to clean up. So, well, I'd like to fire more of these. I don't really have time or jugs right now. I'm hoping to try to print these on paper and compare them. I forgot to mention these are 160 grain FTX bullets, which I think this 160 grain deal, these were 150s, and it's pushing them. These are pushing faster than these by 200 feet per second, which helps. This is no laughing matter. That's a nice mushroom. This is what you would expect from a traditional 30-30 design. Really good mushroom, good penetration, but good bullet that sticks together. These are coming apart as they should. That also has its benefits. Overall, I'm impressed with these. I think we could tell a little bit of a difference in the expansion potential, in the terminal ballistics potential. Even though we only fired 2 of these and 1 of these, nothing surprised me. Again, I'd like to do more of this shooting in the future when I've got some more water jugs, some more test media, and try to discern a little bit more from this. But I think it's safe to say this does a good job on deer. Obviously, tried and true, that's going to put down a deer within its given range. This will too. This actually steps up your potential for taking a deer morally and ethically and humanely. It should, because of the extra speed, it should increase your range. One thing, I know I talked about the ballistics of the traditional 30-30 bullets a little bit ago. I researched when I first got into hunting deer. This was my go-to gun. I researched the 150 grain and the 170 grain bullets. 150 grain 30-30 bullets actually have more energy from the muzzle to about 200 yards than 170 grain bullets do. They're smaller, but they're going faster, and that extra speed makes up for the loss of weight. Now we have an in-between weight, a bullet with in-between the average weight that's going faster than the lighter bullet in the traditional loading. So it's easy to say, it's very, very easy to understand that these are going to offer more potential range for a 30-30 in a deer hunting situation, which is what they're probably going to be used for. So I'm very impressed with this. As always, Hornady makes good stuff. So I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.